For our blog today, I want to talk about this guy and his response when asked about President Trump and his actions in the States. So I'm going to press play now and just talk about it as we go. So I don't really know.
I've been reluctant to comment on the words and actions
anything about this guy.
But we do have Donald Trump now calling for military action against protesters. We saw protesters tear gas yesterday to make way for a presidential photo op. I'd like to ask you what you think.
I'm neither
about
positive
that.
nor negative about his politics. I don't really know him. But look what he does. He pauses to think before he speaks. Yeah, it could be a slightly stage managed, but it's a good point. He pauses to think.
We all watch in horror and consternation what's going on in the United States.
So I'll just pause it there. He pauses to think, and there's a lot in the scriptures and the Proverbs about returning a harsh word with a gentle one, and just the wisdom of not being a person who's always talking, and many words can tend to breed sin. So he holds back. No idea if this guy's a Christian. I'm not claiming he is, but it's interesting the way that he behaves. I think it's really positive. He does that. And then look at what he does next. He says very little about the States, but he focuses on his own country's problems.
It is a time to pull people together, but it is a time to listen. It is a time to learn what injustices continue despite progress over years and decades. But it is a time for us as Canadians to recognize that we too have our challenges, that Black Canadians and racialized Canadians face discrimination as a lived reality every single day.
So it's easy, isn't it, to point the finger at others. Jesus talks about that. Don't look at the plank in your brother's eye, the speck in your brother's eye, and ignore the plank in your own. So rather jumping on the let's beat up the guy I've just had the question asked about, Trump, what he does is he recognises we've got problems as well. And so he's actually authentic to the idea of listening, which a lot of people are rightly talking about. We need to listen at this time. And he focuses on we have problems. And so he deals with his own, the problems of his own house before he focuses on someone else's. And I think there's real wisdom in that. Let's continue.
There is systemic discrimination in Canada, which means our systems treat Canadians of color, Canadians who are racialized, differently than they do others.
So anyway, I'll let you listen to the final few seconds of that, but I thought that was really interesting. Good on him. As I say, don't really know very much about him, neither for or against his politics particularly, but just thought that was a really wise way of dealing things. Yeah, a little bit of stage management in there, perhaps, but hey, I'd say that's wise. I wonder what you think anyway. See you guys later.